The Ooni of Ife has not wronged my family, says Omolara Olatunbosun's father. Hello everyone, you're welcome to my channel. If you're new here, you're welcome. If you're an existing viewer, thank you so much for stopping by. Please remember to share, like, and subscribe to my channel, and feel free to drop your constructive comments in the comment section below. Alright, so it's been going on for the past 2 days where the mother of the first child of the Ooni of Ife, that's Princess Adeola's mother, Omolara Olatunbosun, granted an exclusive interview to Punch newspapers where she actually showed her displeasure at the way that the Ooni of Ife had demeaned her on his Instagram post where he was celebrating his daughter's birthday and sharing his experiences as a young father at the age of 19, how having a child at that early age has formed his life, how he's been able to go through, the rigors of young fatherhood, single parenting, and how she means a lot to him. So just a few days ago, the mom came out and she was really, really unhappy. She granted an exclusive interview to Punch newspaper where she mentioned how upset she was when she saw the post and that she has reached out to him for him to put the post down or to do the needful, because according to her the post was a bit demeaning. It shows that he was the only one responsible for bringing her taking care of Princess Adeola. So about that, when she reached out to him, he told her she was rude and it was on the defensive, and because she gave him, I think, a 72 hours notice to pull it down, and he refused. So that's why she had to grant the exclusive interview to Punch newspapers. So right from the time she put it out there, people have been sharing their opinions and everything, and of course she said she single-handedly took over. She was actually the single parent till Princess Adeola was 13 years old. As you can see in this picture, this is Omolara Olatunbosun with the Princess Adeola when she was still in secondary school. Okay, so people have been sharing their opinions, saying, okay, how could Ooni would have just celebrated his daughter's birthday without making it seem as if the mother is the runaway mother and all of that. So just about a few hours ago, the Omolara Olatunbosun's father came online and granted another interview with the same Punch newspaper. Okay, so the father of Omolara Olatunbosun, who has a daughter for the Ooni of Ife, Obadeye, has said the relationship between his father and that of the traditional ruler is cordial. The chief, called Chief Olatunbosun, said his relationship with him has never ever been bad, and that he had a friendship with Oni's father, Chief John Ogunwusi, which started in 1970 while they were colleagues at the Western Nigerian Broadcasting Service, and the relationship remained intact till date. Omolara's father said this in a statement sent to the correspondent of Punch in response to some questions about the media exchange between his daughter and the Ooni. Omolara had a daughter for the Ooni when she was just 19 years old. I think that was the same age the Ooni was, so they were age mates actually. So on the 18th of October, when Princess Adeola turned 28, the Ooni actually took his official pic, like I said earlier, and amongst other things, this is what he said: I equally realized that being a single parent to a daughter in an unfamiliar footprint can be a major shift in human existence and a daunting journey, as you need to help your child to navigate day-to-day social situations, complex feelings, and developmental stages that life brings. However, Omolara, who spoke in an interview with the same Punch newspaper last week, expressed displeasure with the Ooni's claim of raising Adeola as a single parent. She said, contrary to Ooni's claim, the monarch was not present in the child's life, especially in the first 10 years. She said that the only time the Ooni saw their child after her birth was at the wedding. So responding to this exchange between Omolara Olatunbosun and, what is she called, and the Ooni of Ife, her father, Omolara's father, came out and said that the feelings of the 28-year-old princess should have been considered above everything else before the exchange between the parents. The 78-year-old ex-broadcaster and a poet said, as a Yoruba man and a culture exponent, he would never speak ill of or disrespect the Ooni, who he described as a man of integrity. He said, I can vouch for the integrity of my noble friend Baba Oba John Oluropo Ogunwusi and Onirisha Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi Ojaja also. As a man known for Yoruba culture and traditions, I will always respect the stool of Oduduwa and Arole Oduduwa. I am not a bastard. That noble family has never done anything wrong to my family to warrant arrogantly damaging their reputation in the mass media or the press. I am not a bastard. He added, meanwhile, the child at the center of it is a 28-year-old adult who is also old enough to be a head of state, like General Yakubu Gowon. Princess Adeola is still a spinster at the age of 28 years and will need peace of mind and not any public distraction from me or anybody else. Her happiness in life is more paramount now for anybody who loves her and her progress in life. Yoruba people will say, Agba oni tan lori ile o. So the 78-year-old grandfather, in fact, has spoken, and this should actually clear the case. What else do we need to say to all of this? Now, this is the typical situation in a Yoruba setting. When anything happens, okay, let's even say maybe between her husband and wife, between ex-husband and ex-wife, or whatever it is, when an elderly person wants to calm the storm, right? They would calm the storm, especially in the face of the public, in the face of the online in-laws. Let me put it like that, the way it's put in the jocular form. So when an elderly person looks at a situation, they look beyond the current hurt, the current pain, and see into the future. If you remember, like I said in one of the podcasts I did, I said, when two elephants fight, it is the grass that will suffer. The father has, suffered on taking care of the child. The mother has done that from the beginning. The father took over. So they've done their part. Destiny, they walked the path of destiny, right? And they were able to retract their steps. For only to have, not be present in the child's life at the early age, and he took responsibility from age 13 or 15, means that he realized the mistake he has made, which is very good. Some people never even get to do that till they pass on. It's around. It's not something that is strange. It happens. All right. It's not that it's okay for it to happen, but when it happens, it's just for anybody concerned to buckle up and do the needful. So as Agbati Onitanlori, and the father said, Omolara Olatunbosun's father said, he is not a bastard. He was an ex-broadcaster and is a poet and a bona fide, Omo ileife. He would never, say anything to bring down the Ooni of Ife, nor will he say anything to also rubbish his own friend, who is the Ooni of Ife's father. That is how people with mature mind think. That is how people who, know the implications of some things in future. That's how they think. So he's not denying the fact. Baba will not go into all those cases of, oh yes, he was not there at the beginning. No, Agbalagba will not do that. Everybody knows the truth of the matter. But he's supposed to calm the storm, which Baba, the 17-year-old father of Omolara Olatunbosun, has just done. So what lessons have we learned in this? Despite the modernization, despite, what's it called? 21st century-ish kind of things, there's still a room for culture and tradition. And thank God some Baba is still alive to be able to calm this storm, because we don't know how it will have been going on and on and on and on. All right. So as a father, for him to have done this, definitely, the peace has been restored. What's your opinion? If you actually are taking a critical look at what I read out that Baba said, you can go and refer to it in the Punch newspaper. Baba was more concerned about Princess Adeola, who he attributed to be the age mate of General Yakubu Gowon when he became the head of state. So for somebody who has a bright future in front of her, she doesn't need this kind of distraction from even him, Baba, or anybody else. So Baba has spoken. Nobody should distract Princess Adeola. He doesn't want anybody talking either from his own daughter's corner or from the Ooni of Ife's corner. The whole thing should just slide. because, like he said, they are not considering the mental state of Adeola or the fact that she has a bright future in front of her and she doesn't need all of these stories around her. So for Omolara Olatunbosun, Princess Adeola's mother, I'm sure she's a well brought up child, woman. She's a woman, but she's a child to her father. She will respect her father. She will suck it all in, and peace will reign for the sake of her beloved daughter. And for the Ooni of Ife, Kabiyesi, we know Oriade will continue to guide you and give you all the wisdom you need. Culture is beautiful. Culture and tradition is, no matter how highly educated you are, it's only in our country that we sometimes try to relegate our culture to the background. But if you go to other countries, you see the way, they don't throw their culture away. So I've learned one or two things from this, and I hope we've also learned, and I hope our Agbalagba we still have the authority they're supposed to have in our family to replace values, to always encourage us, to do the right thing and calm the storm, most importantly. A lot of things going on online. If our elders are able to assert their authority, it will be better. So what's your opinion on this? I have learned, and like I always say, there's no story that breaks online. There's always something. If you have taken 1 or 2 minutes of your time to listen to any story, you need to pick something, a lesson from whatever story it is. And that's why we are growing, we are existing, and we are learning as we grow. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.